Hi, welcome back to my channel. So right now it is the end of April here in Northern California, and at the end of April that means it's loquat season here. So I have two seedling loquats here in my property. They're actually seedlings of another seedling I had in my property, but the previous seedling died, but then the fruit seeds actually grew and became a new tree, and it fruited only in 3 or 4 years, which is actually very surprising. The mother plant also fruited in 3 or 4 years as well, and the mother plant's fruits were okay. They're pretty good size, but they weren't all that sweet. But this one, the new seedling, one of the seedling fruits are pretty good and pretty big, and the other one is smaller and more tart. So we're gonna do a taste test of them today. Behind me, you can see right now, this is my Pinkerton avocado that I've previously reviewed, and it's flowering right now profusely. So look at all these flowers here. Also, the rest of my garden, I have some apples. Another avocado, that's a little Cato right there, also flowering profusely. And right there is one of my seedling loquats. So let's go there and pick a fruit. All right, so let's go through all these poppies here to pick a nice fruit. Look at these poppies. That is a jabuticaba. It is about 4 feet tall right now. And this is my seedling loquat, and this is the second year it's got fruit, and quite a bit of them. The other tree has less fruit, but this one has more. But the fruits are smaller, so let's take a look here. This one looks like it's pretty ripe. So just comparison to my fingers, so that's about 1.5 inches long for this one. This one's actually a big one for this tree. I'm gonna try to pick the most ripe ones here. This one looks pretty good. I'll pick a couple extras for the kids here. This one's a smaller but more typical one. And this one has a tendency to have this dark spots on it. Let's see what else can we pick here. This one looks pretty ripe as well. Okay, so we got 4 loquats here from this tree. And now let's go over to our other tree here. Another look at a beautiful avocado. This is my Buddha's hand citron here. We got 1 fruit. It's kind of out of season right now. Got here my Passiflora edulis. This is a passion fruit, purple passion fruit. It's not the name Frederick variety, so it's a little bit smaller. And here we have my other seedling loquat tree. It's here by the neighbor's fence. And let's see if we have some ripe ones here. Looks like we got a couple of ripe ones. And these are big loquats here. Let's see, let me put these fruits down first. And let's try to harvest them. All right. Looks like some critters been eating some of my fruits here. Yeah, they've definitely eaten some of my fruits. All right, I think that's only 1 ripe one right now left. So let's head back and try them out. All right, with such a beautiful spring day, decided why not make the video outdoors. So we're gonna taste test this outdoors today. So remember, these are loquats here, and I have 2 seedling varieties. Loquats, the name is actually Chinese, loquat, which they have a other name for, which is called pipa. So you might hear both names. This one's from the tree with the smaller fruit. This one's with the bigger fruit. The bigger fruit can actually get a little bit bigger than this, and the smaller one is typically smaller. So this is more of a typical size for it. So for comparison, right, how big they are. This is about 1.5 inches in diameter, whereas this one's about 1 inch in diameter and a little bit over 1.5 inch long. And this one's more orange and ripe. This one's a little bit less orange color. Now I've seen people eat this with the skin on and with the skin off. We typically peel the skin, but we'll try both ways. So let's start off with this smaller seedling here. So let's cut it open so you can see the cross section of it, what it looks like inside. All right, here we go. Oh, this one's got like aborted seeds or something like that, smaller. So this is what they look like up close. Yeah. So let's take the seeds out of this side and try this side with the skin on. The skin's a little astringent. I think I would prefer the skin off. This one's pretty ripe and not very tart. The previous ones I've had were a bit more tart, so this one's kind of like as tart as an apple. But not very sweet and not very flavorful, a little bit bland. I think I've had better loquat than this, but it's all right, especially since it's not as tart. So even with the skin off, it's still a little astringent. Let's try this other one here that's also from the same tree. Oh, this one's got aborted seeds too. So cut straight through, and there's just some really tiny seeds there. So peeling the skin is very easy to peel here. Right, just peel like that. This one's more typical of how tart they are. So this one a little bit more sour than the other one. Also a little bit more flavorful as well. The other one was a little bit more bland. This one had a little bit stronger flavor. A little bit more sweetness as well. The other one was just bland, wasn't very sweet, wasn't very tart. Not really sure why that was the case. Maybe because that one was more exposed to the sun. You can see these seeds are not fully formed here. And we get rid of this apex here. Now this larger one is more round shaped, and it's less furry on the fruit itself. Also the color is more yellow than orange. Now this is more typical of what the seeds look like, right? Fully formed like that. So I'll try this side with the skin on. This one's not as ripe as they can get. So it's got a little bit of tartness, a little bit the same as the long one of the other seedling. I also think this one's less ripe. It's not as bland as the first one. It's about the same. It's not the same flavor exactly as these other seedling, but in terms of intensity of flavor, it's about the same as the second longer one. The skin's also less astringent, so it's actually not objectionable to eat this one's skin. But either way, I will peel it and then compare it as well. I grew up eating this without skin, so it's not typical for me to eat the skin on this fruit. Now, this one without the seed on this other side, quite a bit of flesh here. Much more agreeable to eat without the skin. I think we take out the inside seed skin here, like not the skin of the seed, but the seed cavity has a layer of skin here, I think it'll be even better. I think that adds a little astringency to it. Yeah, it's better. This fruit, particular fruit, is not fully ripe, so it's got a little bit of tartness to it, but not too bad. This tree is a seedling, as I mentioned, and started fruiting after 3 years. This is the second year it fruited. First year I got like 5 fruits. This year I have maybe a dozen or 2, but the critters ate a few of them, and I've had a few already. But otherwise, this is a good one. I think what I'm gonna do is actually graft this one, take a stem from this one and graft it onto the other one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna top work the other one completely. Maybe I'll keep half of the tree on the other one with the other fruit. But this one is definitely a little bit better. It's also not in a great location. This part is a lot more shaded than the other one, so we may be producing less fruit because of that. It's fruiting on the side where there is more sun, more morning sun anyways. So it might be better on the other fruits location where there's a lot more sun, basically full sun all day long. Yeah, so that's a review of my 2 seedling loquats. So hope you guys enjoy, and please subscribe and hit the notification bell.